Georgia rental laws outline the rules in the state regarding lease agreements and eviction. We'll overview the laws for standard lease agreements, month-to-month lease agreements, and evictions. Standard lease agreement. A standard lease outlines the terms between a landlord and tenant for the renting of a property. A standard lease in Georgia is commonly a one-year fixed period and is the most widely used rental contract. Month-to-month lease. A month-to-month lease is an agreement between a landlord and tenant that renews automatically every month. The agreement terminates upon notice by either the landlord or tenant. The notice must be provided by either party a minimum of 30 days prior to termination as required by law. Required disclosures. In Georgia, the landlord is required to provide the following disclosures as part of the lease agreement. Flood. If the residence has flooded 3 times in the last 5 years, the tenant must be made aware. Identification. The landlord must provide the name and address of a person authorized to manage the premises, whether it be the owner themselves or a management company. Inspection form. The landlord must provide a move-in checklist with the lease agreement, specifying prior and existing damages. Previous tenants. At the tenant's request, the landlord must disclose if the former tenant was infected by a virus, passed away on the property, or if there was a homicide or a felony on the property. Landlord access. In Georgia, the landlord is not required to give notice for entry to the property, but it is recommended that all landlords give reasonable notice before entering the property for repairs or non-emergency situations. Security deposit laws. In Georgia, there is no maximum amount for security deposits. The landlord must return the money within 1 month of terminating the lease. Eviction laws. There are 2 legally accepted causes for eviction in Georgia. Non-payment of rent. If the tenant is late on rent, the landlord can issue an immediate notice to pay or quit. If the tenant pays before eviction proceedings begin, they are considered to be back in compliance. Non-compliance. There's no state law requiring the landlord to inform a tenant of a violation of the rental contract prior to beginning eviction proceedings. However, it is recommended that the landlord notify the tenant of their non-compliance to give them the ability to cure their infraction before eviction.